All right, welcome in everyone. We're here with day 3 of week 1 of regionals. Today you have me, Cora, and V alongside me. Sorry for the late start. We're jumping in on game 1 at the start of stage 2, but hope to have a great day of games. How are you doing today, V?
Um, Still feeling a little bit sick, but we will power through it.
It's okay. It'll be some great games of regionals that'll make us all feel better. I did notice it is a silver augment start, and then we have a Thresh Kale boons. Like I said, apologies for the late start. We missed a few rounds, but we will power through and get into some exciting games. And for those that don't know, format for the day. So they played games 1 through 6 yesterday. Today we'll pull up scores later, but the bottom after 2 games, it's the bottom 4 get cut and are eliminated, and the top 4 will move on to week 2 of regionals. And every 2 games we'll make the same cut, 4 from the top, 4 from the bottom. So that is how today works. So I am personally pulling up the scores on the side to get us a rundown of who is in check or not in check, but who is on the bubble here.
In this lobby, I think something really important to note is that we actually have or not, one of the higher performers so far. VCLF went crazy, dropped a 40 bomb yesterday. Looking to play the Lulu reroll here, and already has Lulu 2 with a duplicator on 2-5, looking for a strong start to the day for him.
Yeah, that is, I feel like something with having such a crazy start, then starting the next day with a Lulu 2 in stage 2 sounds pretty good to me. And I think Lulu play rates yesterday were pretty high.
Yeah, it's kind of become one of the better 3-cost rerolls and has a really high cap. It gets a bit dangerous if you miss, just because of how much HP you typically lose running into the line and how hard the 2-star falls off, but going really well in this, a lot more open meta compared to last tournament.
What are your thoughts on the meta and how it's shifted for this weekend regionals? Are you expecting to see more reroll? Are you expecting to see more like the Fast Nine? Or what is your take on what you expect to see today?
So given that it's tournament and it's a pretty open meta, I expect a lot of people to either Um, I think we'll see a lot more of like the reroll stuff come in today. If we Because Fast 9 is kind of hard to pull off, you need like like really good spot for it, and it is still the highest cap in the game, but it really leaves you susceptible to eights, which gets really dangerous, especially this late into a tournament where one bad game could put you in like a really bad spot to get eliminated. So I expect to see a lot more of these like 2 and 3 cost rerolls, as well as a lot of people opt into like some of the more default 4 cost lines. Like Scion, a good Stargazer, will probably get like picked by at least one person. I think Yi should probably have a pretty high pick rate, as well as LeBlanc did get buffed. We should see some of that, but that comp just gets a little dangerous if you are running into it with low HP and kind of stuck on 8. So we'll see.
Okay, thank you so much. I feel like it's been a lot of games just going on with the meta changing. TFT is definitely hard to catch up to, but I feel like we've reached the point in the set too where it's like you're starting to see a bit of like everything that we've seen throughout the entire set, and less fully dominated by just like 1 or 2 comps, which is how TFT should be. Like you get more variety, you get to see a lot more of everything, and it's like it just that's what's fun to me at regionals and worlds most of the time. That seems to be like a culmination of all the top comps that we've seen throughout the set, throughout different patches, all kind of like meet that same power level.
Hmm. I think something else interesting that we saw the first 2 days is NA specifically really like playing around this kind of tempo Darkstar idea. This play around is much higher than I thought it would be, but it's a very stable board, especially if you manage to find the Jin on 8, and can really farm you some easy top 4. So I think a lot of people, especially if they're already in good spots, probably be looking to play for some of these safe lines like that.
That makes a lot of sense too. And then so I looking at the scoreboards, so we can see everyone's points on the overlay there. And like you mentioned, VCLF kind of running away with it. Everyone else at 41 points, and then everyone else kind of like in that high 20 to 30 range. right now the cutoffs for for the top four, fourth place right now is currently at 34 points. So I don't think anyone here other than VCLF is looking to necessarily make it in that top four to advance to the next day, whereas VCLF couple top fours and you're 2 games and you're done today. However, on the bottom side, right now, the current cutoff is at this 25, 26 point threshold. And we have several players here that are like right there. So we have like Greya at 26, Dank Memes at 28, just slightly ahead. Let's say Bobster at 23. Oh yeah, Bobster is
Yeah,
currently
Bobster, I
like
believe, is in
our
last.
lowest player for today. So, uh, and then Texi and Ripple Overdrive all kind of on that bubble to they need good performances in these first 2 games to not get eliminated and then set themselves up to like advance throughout each of the next two throughout.
Especially in a spot like Bobster, you're gonna need to chain together a lot of good performances here on day two because even after you make the first cut, you have another cut immediately after that. Um, Ripple Overdrive is Mordekaiser caretakers. I am assuming that's what that is. Probably looking to play just some AP Fast 9, I would imagine, from this spot. It seems to be like one of the popular ways people have been playing this like AP like win streak that isn't directly going into like a solar karma.
Yeah, and it's probably like wanting to flex around. Like we have that ASOL there, but I imagine looking more to flex around either the oh we find a karma as well, but trying to flex around either the karma or Nami based off these items, because typically you don't see like the Nashers on ASOL itself, but like it's one that you temporarily use here. But we also found the karma, so it's curious to see which one we put it on. We'll find out later, I guess.
Hmm. Interesting spot, especially after losing that round, how the fast time will go for him. Rhea is also AP flexing. I'm assuming this is a print Leona. Probably looking to play some
Yeah.
Leona and then pivot into some just standard AP board with the Shojin.
Yeah, I would assume so too. Having the 6 Leonas here, being level 7, this has to be a printer. Playing around, also hitting like the Zoe 2, which is a fantastic unit to pair with that to just get you to push these higher levels pretty easily.
Is that Yeah, okay. One of the things I wanted to talk about, or one of the things I mentioned earlier with the people opting into rerolls more, we've seen Samira get nerfed pretty heavily. The Samira Orin comp get nerfed repeatedly over the last few patches, and people are still willing to play it from these kind of like 80 reroll spots where you need to stabilize on stage 3, opting into the Samira Orin there without most people in ladder would try to prefer to play this from like a 2 tanky spot or a super strong win streak spot. But in this type of tournament where Tex is in the middle of the pack right now and she's to string together some good placements, really willing to just opt into this kind of I wouldn't call it safe because 3 cost reroll has a very high 8th share if you do just end up missing, but um a lot more of like a calm kind of uh just kind of a calm game where you just have to rely on hitting your units and spiking to just farm some placements here.
BCLF here still that 100 streak playing off that Lulu that we saw earlier. Very good items here. Strong board, high rolling some of these Thieves Gloves here in order to keep that strong front line, but like the Twin Guardians also doing the work there. This is also like I feel like we've not seen a whole lot. I personally have played it a ton, but like these 4 replicator versions of Lulu, I think is like one of the best units that is like kind of starting to be picked up a bit more.
Hmm.
Although we are playing around the Milio here, who is not a replicator, but I assume that'll move over to Nami at some point.
Do you know what Stargazer this is? I can't tell
Go
off the
back
effect,
to
and we
it.
didn't see Stargazer beforehand.
I can tell by the formation once planning phase starts if we don't move away.
I just know it's not cause you like playing this on like Medallion and
Yes.
Fountain. It does not look like it's either of those.
Yeah. Whenever we go back to VCLF's board, I will definitely let us know.
That is Zaya.
I did not catch what it was. I'm curious if trying to like this definitely looks like a Zaya board. Yeah, I wish I knew what the Stargazer was, but I feel like we're seeing also a lot of like rise of Nova Kindred that you could technically play it from that spot too. I feel like with those items, I think Zaya is definitely the preferred because that is definitely Biz Zaya. But finding the early Kindred, having the challengers, definitely a way to get you there.
Hmm.
This Hellfire
I will
Hatchet
say
on Jinx
compared.
is also very interesting. I'm not sure exactly how well it works, especially with her cast, because I don't remember cast applies on hits like every 3-4 autos or not, if it counts as one, to
Mhm.
be able to get some of that extra damage, but when you're a challenger attacking a lot, pretty good.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, in items, this comp mostly just wants to have a huge amount of items and just overpower your board with raw AD. So some extra stats will never hurt.
Yeah. And then the Space Group Ornn that we've seen so much of throughout a couple of these patches, playing like it's too tanky with the double Ornn, even though we don't have too tanky. But just being able to get that extra Space Grave unit, that extra tank there until you can find a better unit, is always just like I think that's part of the high value of Space Grave in general. That just being able to put duplicate of the same unit and being able to increase the stats you get from Space Groove is such a huge strength for it, and why 2 tanky is so good. And even without 2 tanky, still getting the extra boost there.
Hmm. I mean, at the end of the day, Ornn 2 is still one of the tankiest units in the game, especially at this stage of the game. Getting close to hitting it already. See if he opts to roll down or waits for augment here.
Yeah, being 3 off Samira, 2 off the Ornn, very close. Being able to get yet a second stone plate, so you guarantee that you're going to get radiant stone plate. That's also part of the strength of getting these big tank artifacts. It makes it easier to guarantee what your radiant item is. So
Hmm.
this Ornn has to have like 1,000 armor.
For sure.
But doesn't do as much into the Lulu. Still gains a 10 of MR because of stone plate giving both. So it's
Hmm.
still going to just run over everything, and Lulu's not going to be able to kill these units fast enough.
And he will break VCLF's 100 streak, by the way.
All it took was one big Ornn.
Yeah, I still can't imagine that VCLF is too upset about that, hitting 6 copies of Lulu already.
Yeah, and as we can see, all the boards, like we see on the side, Ripple Overdrive, one off the Mordekaiser from the Caretakers. Dank Beam's getting close to the Primordian hits. We just came off text board with the Space
Chaos?
Grooves being able to hit everything. Well, I
Ooh,
didn't even see what he picked.
actually, Bell Overflow might be. Oh, it was Chaos and is
Oh,
something.
he did take
Too
Chaos.
late. Purple Overdrive. Uh,
Hitting the Mord 3 there as well. From the level up from the Caretakers.
I'm a little concerned whether or not we will have the damage, but this Mord should tank for quite a while, and we're getting a bunch of hold the line value with the extra Shepherd, or with the Shepherd summon on the board.
Yeah, I
He
think
can
that's
win a few
definitely
fights here.
one of the boards that like hold the line is pretty great for. And then we saw also just putting the Lysandra up front. It's Lysandra 1. You don't care for the value from it. Just, hey, I'll put it up on the front line and buff up my 2 carries I actually care about.
Mhm.
And then
Going
Tex on
against the
the other
Samira
side hitting both
3.
Samira and the
Like,
Ornn.
yeah, I don't know if this one's very winnable.
Yeah, I don't know who's going to kill this. I think this Ornn will not die until like at the end of stage 5 at minimum. I don't know what board here is killing that.
Yeah, a spot is looking a little rough potentially for Ripple Overdrive.
Yeah, now it's a matter of just text where it's like, okay, now you can just you econ back up and you can like you just push levels towards the end. Right now we just have an Aatrox in for a Bastion. Ideally you want the Shen. You want to find the Blitz later. So like you just want the high levels, find all these legendaries. And Seven's Face Groove is kind of falling off. It's like one where it's like, if you can get it in, like it's nice, but you'd rather just throw in a bunch of legendaries, the Morgana, extra stats. Over here on Dank Beams though, doing our
It's
roll
the
down,
Jinx on the
hitting
last
everything.
roll.
Just enough gold to hit that Jinx, but and we'll see if it's enough here to take down the Lulu, which I imagine it is. Uh, VC VCLF also switching on the other side away from the 4 replicators. We went back to the standard Millia Lulu version. And I
Same
feel
with
like ever
Archangel,
since
that makes
we,
sense.
yeah, I feel like since we went back to it though, we've started losing. Somebody pull out the 4 replicator tech, please.
Okay. Is it really losing if you walk into Jinx 3 items, Velvet 3 with an artifact, and Rek'Sai 3?
While he's off his spike, so close to hitting all 3 of his units, he's reroll.
Not sure if I can blame poor little
Yeah,
Milio there.
it's definitely the 4 replicator dip, and not that hey, we haven't hit our units yet.
Okay. Okay.
I'm sorry, I'm a 4 replicator lover. It's my favorite. I'm like up 400 LP on this.
After
But
watching some of your games, I think these games might be a little more competitive than
are you
the
sure
four
about that?
replicator games I see.
My 100 LP Masters games aren't as competitive as regionals.
Perhaps not.
Looking over here on Bobster, we haven't looked at it in a bit. Playing the Vagar printer. We're one turn off Lulu, or not Lulu. I've got Lulu on the brain. Never mind, Vagar, which we hit anyways, so we don't even.
We hit.
Or that
Yeah.
was the print, right? Because it was after the carousel round, the way the like it's 2 separate
Mhm.
rounds. So good timing there. But we are stuck on the Ramus one. We do have Ramus pair, but I feel like our front line right now is kind of weak, especially until this tower like hits 3-star.
Mhm.
Without having this upgraded Dramas. We do have the mech too, and that's where it's like, I don't know if it's like, maybe we should play the items on the mech too until then, but actually not too bad. We might actually kill the Ornn. We might
One.
just win.
Can Vigar get the
Okay,
last damage? Oh,
that
it's gonna knock the Vigar.
hitting
Oh,
that
just
Vagar
enough.
just in time.
It's a very important win there for Bobster to stay. Uh
And so our answer to
oh, stay
Stargazer, it
alive. I
is
didn't realize
Serpent,
he
by
was
the
that
way.
low. It is Serpent. Okay, that makes
Yeah,
sense.
it is Serpent Stargazer. Which makes sense why trying to angle the Xayah, most people consider Serpent and Boar probably to be Xayah's 2 best. And having the perfect items for Xayah so early. But just like not having the HP, having not gotten there enough. And we go up against VCL, who just hit the Lulu 3 recently.
See if it's enough. This is a very tanky Tom Kench with the Warmogs and the Indomitable. I forget the full
Yes,
name
I
of the
always want to
artifact.
say it's Anathemes because that's what it is in League of Legends, that icon. But yeah, I always forget that it's the Indomitable. And as we pull in the Lulu, so it's CC'd for a bit, not able to get another cast, just strong enough. Being able to fight VCLF, but probably a turn before they find the Maokai 3, the Milio 3 is huge for there to be able to get a free win.
Hmm.
Ripple, on the other hand, over here, back here we mentioned looking at the Karma and the Acel, and still on just 1 copy of each. Hitting the what is the name of that augment again? I forget the name of it now because I never clicked
Hold the
it.
line or
No, the silver one, the
specialist or
level
the
9
late game
specialist.
specialist.
Yes, that one. Being able to hit
Hit
that
Sona too.
9, hit all these. That's, can't complain about that one. We're missing our karma, but hey, Sona 2, pretty good.
Hitting on
And
so
which
many pairs.
Yeah, Morgana pair, Alawi pair, Meepsy pair, Pike pair. That's so unfortunate just not being able to. But hey, we have a 3-star Mordekaiser.
Hopefully this can hang off for a while. Usually you'd prefer to have a Bard in the spot. We'll see how much work the Sona and the Acel can do combined. I imagine this should be strong enough to maybe win a few fights.
If you find Bard though, are you consider the Bard 1 to be stronger than the Acel 2, or you just hold the Acel 2 until you find
I
Bard?
think you hold the Acel too for a while.
Okay,
I think maybe if you're one life, you can sell if you're on Bard pair just to try to find, since no
that
one
makes
else in the
sense.
lobby seems to have it yet. But Acel 2 should be good enough for the majority of the stage.
Yeah. And this Tom Kench that we saw earlier, I don't think it had the decall before. I think it had the Heartsteel, right? Running
Hmm.
up into this pretty magic heavy lobby, like the Lulus, the Vagar. Like this Tom
So
Kench
this
is
Tom
actually
Kench is not
very,
taking
very
any
difficult to
damage.
kill. Like this might be tank. I mean, we saw this might be tankier than the Ornn, maybe.
Yep. I think it's important to note that Zaya is considered one of the like premier loss streak lines because of how important getting this specific bis on Zaya is. And it's getting kind of put to the test here, taking double econ, feeling confident that if he can get to 9, he should be able to just win out the rest of the lobby on one life. And honestly, I'm looking at the tank setup and the items, and I think I believe it. Bronze for life and with best friends, even
Yeah,
if it's not, even if it is like mostly a magic lobby, I believe like this is just some really good combat here in a double silver lobby that should be able to get him over the hump at the end of the game,
yeah, and it
especially if he
does help
manages to
the
find a
armor
Jin.
in some of these, like these physical ones when you have the decall. It's like, hey, a little bit of armor to help out from that best friends and from the bronze for life. And it's also Serpent, like I said, is considered one of Zaya's best, if not the best one. Also, Serpent is the easiest Stargazer to play best friends on. So many of
Mhm.
the Stargazer boards are really hard to play that positioning battle. But the
And
way
Arctic's
that like
died.
the Serpent hexes go is pretty easy and doesn't matter at this point. But for
Looks like
anyone
he
that
did not,
it's
in
the
fact,
only
win out.
Stargazer you want best friends on. I like seeing the Meeple board and having tiny but deadly because it reminds me of Yordles with all of the
What
Meeple,
did Arctic's die
most of the
to?
Meeples being Yordles. It sure seems like it. I don't know for 1 or 2 turns off the Gnar here. For 1 turn off, we have the extra life here to be able to do it. As we go up against here on Ripple Overdrive's board, we did find the Karma too, but electing to keep the items over on the Asol, which I believe is correct until we find our Bard. And this Mordekaiser just not like not going down. There's so many like super tanks it feels like in this lobby. Generally you don't consider Mordekaiser to be one, but hey, when you get a 3-star for free.
Yeah, it is pretty good. Ripple Overdrive seeming to be able to stabilize now on 9 around this Sona 2.
And unfortunately it looked like for that we were 1 turn off of the Gnar 3. We still need 1 more turn to
Mm-hmm.
print. If we're ready. And VCLF at the top still rerolling. Still one off the Milio and getting close to the Jacks now. Gray here, not enough gold quite to buy this Nunu. Unless we're looking
We
to.
definitely
I feel like
sell
you sell this
this.
Diana, waiting last second
Um,
to do it.
yeah, I gotta fix items first.
And then as we match up here against the BCLF, we've got there's this the big Maokai, the big up against the big Leona. It's just like it feels like this is a battle. All these lobbies of just our super tanks. The triple death
Mm-hmm.
cap LeBlanc. That is a lot of AP for that unit. It may not be attacking fast, but its attacks are. And then we say goodbye
And
to Ready 1 turn off of hitting that Gnar, unfortunately. Dank Beam's
Nick
falling out
Memes
just as
collecting
well.
a humble. Honestly, in this lobby, with all these super tanks, as you said, either from reroll spots or printing Leona or this Caretaker's. Is it favor or ally? It's Caretaker's ally, right? Favor
Yes.
was the
Favor
components
was
and
the
stuff.
like item component anvil ones that I don't think is in the game right now.
Yeah, the biggest weakness of that Jinx comp is eventually running into these super tanks, especially if kind of with a little bit on the artifact there.
Yeah, one with
So a
this much
fifth, they're
armor.
pretty happy about. Yeah, like I don't think you're able to blow up this Ornn very quickly.
And yeah, I think like this is one of the better matches for VCLF. The matches into it well, but it's still not
Ooh,
just enough. It's like maybe once we hit the Jacks 3 there, we're 2 off, like maybe that's enough. Like that fight was pretty close.
I think Jax 3 could be a difference. This Jax unit is still a lot of tankiness on this board, even despite the nerfs.
Greya's board looks crazy. I mean, typically you don't see like this itemization for like LeBlanc or whatever, but having the Twin Guardians, this big Leona 3, we've got the upgraded Nunu now. Like that is a lot of value from Twin Guardians. We have a lot
And
of
it's Wand
rods.
Overflow.
Yeah, so like what how much is Wand Overflow? Is it
I
4%
believe
attack speed or something per rod?
it's somewhere between 4 and 8.
Okay. Regardless, we have 6 rods on LeBlanc, so that does add up to be, at least around 30% attack speed. So not too bad. That's a basically a free Yasuo hex.
True.
As we roll down looking for the I don't know
Looking
necessarily what
for
we are looking for. We sold the Sona. Sona can only realistically go in over LeBlanc, and at this point, I don't know if that's better. I think we just don't have the gold for it.
I'm looking to find a way to get Blitzcrank 2, and we'll see how this fight goes for Greya.
The Ornn falling very, very fast to this comp, being all magic. This is where the Ornn is like struggling a bit,
Mm-hmm.
having the
It's a
armor
great Nunu
artifact, and
cast.
it just gets run over. And that will be goodbye to Tex. Oh, never mind. Are we for it? Oh no, we are gone. It took a bit to update there.
Hmm. Again, these real comps on this patch aren't necessarily going to win out as much as these boards that cap around on the 2-star 5 costs, but that is a placement you will take very happily if you are Tex.
Unfortunately for VCLF, we were not able to hit the jacks. We ended up selling one because I know we were at 7 before. Unless, do we have
Mm-hmm.
another one? The thing still says 7, but I see 6.
I think he leveled for Ross.
Okay, that makes leveled for Rost and
Yeah.
sold the jacks to do
I
so.
think it'll be pretty hard for BCLF to beat either of these boards. With the Declaw,
Yeah.
maybe this Maokai can live for a little bit into this board, but we'll have to see if it's enough.
Yeah, I think it's not enough to get through this Twin Guardians front line between the Leona and the Nunu. Like by the time we see they just fell here, we still have everything is the back line is has not been touched and able to just finish off
Mm-hmm.
the rest.
Looks like this Twin Guardian setup with the Leona 3 and the Nunu 2 with honestly still a strong front line immediately behind it. This triple carry setup looking very strong for Greya. Wand Overflow had been one of the best options in this line to get 3 fully itemized carries in the back.
Yeah, especially like yeah, I feel like I'm just looking at this and this is so many items. I don't remember the last time I've had this many items on my board
Yeah.
without hitting some crazy. And we only got one item augment. I mean, granted, it is 4 rods, but I feel like this is one where it's like I expected to see a lot more items from augments.
See if this Acel has the juice to get through this front line, but
It did get onto the
already
back
with
line here.
Mordekaiser falling. Oh?
Oh, it barely one auto away from dying, able to take
Oof.
down Greya and take the win. Very well played. These very, very strong boards. It's cool to see. I feel like we definitely saw quite a variety throughout all of these.
Really interesting positioning there at the end, too. Acel very often in these fights able to just hmm, able to target the backline after you trade frontline like that. So good heads up positioning there, same siding the Acel. And I think without that backline snipe, I think it still would have been the triple carry setup that eventually won the fight. So really heads up play there.
Yeah, I agree. I think like it barely got through the front, and it seemed like that cast from Acel, the very end of it was enough to take down just one of the backline carries that was just enough to be able to survive long enough to in order to get through and survive long enough to then on the second cast be able to kill the others. So very, very close.
Mm. Those are, regardless of the first or second, though, that's still a really good game for Greya. Needed that around 26 points. Triple Overdrive also at 26 points. Needing a bounce back game after finishing the last 2 games of yesterday at 8th and 8th, putting himself in this position in the first place. A couple more good placements, and they'll have to feel very good about both themselves.
Yeah, and I will pull as we look here, we take a look at the scores. We see scores are not fully updated. We're starting to see some of the top.
Mm.
As we can see here, uh, VCLF I think is already, regardless of points in this next game, is guaranteed through. Being
Yeah,
at
that third
47,
especially.
yeah, being 10 points ahead of fourth, uh, is just, it doesn't matter. You can go eighth the next time. Play your favorite comp, have some fun, move on to week two.
Well
And
deserved
then,
too. Like these scores are kind of insane.
yeah,
Fifth, third, first, second, third.
yeah, very well played. And then we see Toddy in second too. Brazil kind of, running the lobby today. Black Sheep, who doesn't even have a score either from LAS, NA is kind of falling behind right now. It's the start of week one.
Yep.
And then we don't have a lot of the scores updated on the bottom, but we just saw Bobster, unfortunately, who is at the bottom, taking an eighth again. So it's gonna be very difficult. We'll need a first to maybe make it out in the next game, depending on how the points shake out for the rest. So that might be one where Bobster's doing anything, find the anima, find the. That's one thing we didn't see this game. I feel like that we've seen a lot from this weekend. Like about is these anima openers and like I feel like the games I caught yesterday was just anima cash out winning every game.
It's just one of those things where it's kind of hard to find the spot for it all the time because if you go without like 3 to 4 rounds of stacking, like it really impacts whether you can hit the 300 or 400 to cash out, and you don't really feel great about playing Anima the whole game into these cash out boards unless you hit
Hmm.
400, unless you hit the Battle Bunny crossbow, if you hit the super good tank artifacts into the Acel line.
Yeah. I
So
think the other comp we saw missing that I think goes hand in hand with that is that we did not see the more standard mech ASOL. Like we saw the conduit one with a bunch of legendaries, but we did not see like the standard mighty mech up solo frontline or mech in the back. But I feel like that's also one where it's like you typically play that out of like an anima cash out. So maybe we'll see that in some of our upcoming games.
yeah, it definitely feels like that's something where you kind of either need a reason to play the comp or because we saw like some of the people with like the AP boards just wanted to go 9 as quick as possible. Whether that worked out for them or not, it worked out for some of our players and maybe not so much for others. But ASOL is kind of one of those lines where it feels really strong on stage 4, but starts falling off really quickly if you don't have a plan to actually cap out on 9 or have something super special that makes your board super strong.
True. And I think that's also like we might be maybe we will see it as we get into like these elimination games, like I said, from somebody like Bobster, somebody that absolutely needs a first, playing similar to like a
Mhm.
checkmate format where they know they need it, or if we'll just see like as the day goes on, because we're gonna have cuts every 2 games, and then at the end of the day, after game 5 and 6, we'll have an additional cut there. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw us to a break real quick, and we'll be right back with our second game. All right, welcome back everyone as we jump into game two. We have switched lobbies and we are getting into, like I said, after this game, we will have eliminating our bottom four and advancing our top four. And our top four, at least VCLF, but it is way less tight at the top than it is at the bottom. And for the encounter this game, caught it right before we switched over, is the Sona encounter where every level is 2 less XP. So I imagine we might see some more Fast 9 boards coming out.
It doesn't seem like much, but it really does add up when you think about it. It's -2 gold to level for each level going all the way up to level 9.
Yeah,
That is
starting.
that's like a free round, basically. Free
Yeah,
round or
and it
two.
kind of messes with some of your level intervals too. So sometimes you can go around early and still be on perfect interval if you're like trying to get there on the, I forget, is it on the odd levels that it throws it off?
Right?
This is
Something
one of
like
those too where
that.
you see like early learnings and you're like, there are some strong early learnings board, and then you remember, oh, it's 2 less XP. I can't stay here.
Also, I think Flooded Mind might just be better here, especially with the items, but
Yeah, it looks like we are considering the early learnings though. I do see Blow and Aatrox too, but I don't know what else we have.
um
Oh,
looks like
Birthday
the board
Reunion.
had that also makes sense for this board.
Also, just Birthday Reunion in general on the we see immediately went to level 5 with the cheaper XP, only being
Mhm.
8. This is also one where like it being the 8 XP to go to level 5 makes it that much like you can afford it there and you're still perfect interval.
Yep. One of the changes we made to Birthday Reunion in the patch was that they made it to you have to be level 5 to get your 2-star 2 cost. And when you get into a portal like this, you kind of can mitigate a lot of the downside of that augment. We'll see in a bit what 2-star he ended up getting, but should be a really strong spot for him. Okay, is that late
Somehow
game scaling? Or is that
on
early learning?
which
Not the 2 tanky.
see I can't tell. They always look the same. Also, who did Upset Max fight? They went level 5 and lost.
Oh,
With the birthday reunion. I don't know if they didn't get the unit in time,
I'm assuming
but
that's probably it.
maybe they fought Cheng Shen Li with the Warpath Milio back in the 2-star Cho'Gath. That could be something that could have taken it down. Phoenix hitting the treasure hunt. So I
This is
think
another really
also,
popular augment in this meta where rerolls a lot more played for.
yeah, and I think like we mentioned, oh, being the cost less XP, like you're kind of incentivized to go fast 9. I think it's also some of these reroll comps, if you have like the spot for it, you can still play the reroll, especially ones that then like cap later. So it's like, okay, you can hit all your units, and then once you've hit your units, it actually is pretty cheap to push levels again and to catch back up to the other players. So it's not that bad. Yeah, you just don't want like the 1 cost rerolls. I think like the 2 and the 3 cost are fine because you can hit the level 6 faster or the level 7. Like you can hit those faster to start your rolls faster and have more gold.
Hmm.
And then once you hit, you can go. It's just not as good on the ones that, like the Lulu board that doesn't really have a level 8 or a level 9 board. It's just like, okay, you hit everything at 7 and your board's done. So those are the ones like I feel like you kind of want to stay away from, but other than that, I think like reroll is fine outside of 1 cost.
Yeah, one of the nice things about one cost is in the early game you see so many of these level 3 and level 4 shops, and you just lose some rounds of that. And then you're also losing gold respective to the lobby by not leveling for a while, so definitely see your point there.
Yeah, and that's like when like Toddy on the other side having the 2 tanky that I feel like we only see 2 tanky with Samira. Not having any of the Samira Ornn units there, but that is one that also like you can hit all your units on level 7 and then you're able to push to find like the Shen and like the Blitzcrank that much sooner to be able to power up the board.
Hmm. And it's looking like he is still quite strong on this 3 streak. Didn't have to fight against either Upset Max or the Warpath. I forget who had that one.
And our gods for this game will be the
Ooh.
Yasuo Echo. I always love seeing the Yasuo permanent HP one at the start. I feel like that's one of like I don't know, that's one of my favorite ones to see in stage two. And it seems like we have a lot of players here. It does kind of like, you know, it gets you stuck in your positioning, but that is so much value in HP that can scale up, especially on something like the Orns that we see go crazy. And we saw last game too, like we saw a lot of like it felt like super tanks, and being able to get like a Cosmic Hex to make them scale even higher will be
Mhm.
very strong for a lot of these players.
I think we saw 3 people take artifact.
I forget,
Ego being one of them.
is it random artifact or is it artifact anvil?
Wouldn't
I
say
forget
it's
what the one in
random.
stage two is. I think it's also random. I know I'm somebody that always shies away from artifacts, cause especially when it's just random. But I feel like I don't know. I just always get. I sometimes don't want to take that risk of like, oh, but
Mhm.
what if I miss? Then what do I do? And I gotta figure out my game plan.
I think in this kind of meta where we saw, like, for example, CMB was one of the players that took it, just playing a strong win streak spot, pretty flexible, just generic AP with the Spark
Mhm.
most likely and the Sunfire and the Shojana slams that you can use either tank or AP artifacts. Like, it's pretty hard to miss, so not a bad idea just going for it. And especially if, like you said, since it's probably incentivized to go fast 9 on these types of on these portals, then you have kind of a free item for a free pretty good item, even if you miss and find a fighter item for something like a Graves or a Fiora, or even like a Blitzcrank or Shen.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense too, especially considering when it's up against like a scaling one in the Yasuo hex that you just take the artifact, even though you get a few rounds later, it can help you tempo before like these scaling ones and do some more damage early and use the like cheaper levels to push with it as well to just get to these faster breakpoints, even if it is like a less than ideal artifact, like you just have more strength on your board earlier.
I mean, at the end of the day, if you're pushing levels and you don't think you're gonna have like a tank you care about for a while, there's no point taking the Cho'Gath hex. A lot of the value is the stacking HP.
Hmm. I like how you call the Cho'Gath hex too. It's just your
It's
ideal
the
unit to
Cho'Gath
put it
hex.
on.
I love Cho'Gath on the scaling hex.
I miss the days of like Gargantuan's Resolve on like a Cho'Gath, or you just try and make the biggest and cooking pot, and you were just trying to get like a big Rek'Sai, a big Cho'Gath, just these big void monsters. It was always a void monster of some sort to make super big, and just see if you can get it to fill up the entire screen. Upset
Hmm.
Max ending Toddy's streak going into neutrals here, being on that 5 streak. CMB being the only player to actually keep the 5 streak alive. Upset real close. I losing that first round. I'm not sure who necessarily
Um,
who ended up losing it to, but still very strong to finish up on the 4 win.
so Toddy's our two tanky player. Upset was Birthday Reunion, and CMB is just some generic win streak 3 item Talon.
Hmm.
What happened to our Warpath player? Because that is multiple rounds lost on stage 2, which is fine.
Yeah, because that was
These
Ching Chen
rounds
Li with
don't do
at
that much,
86
but
HP. It seems like we kind of alternated streaking a bit.
it might just be a bit rough to win on stage 3 with some of these players that we know are going to reroll, especially towards the back half of stage 3.
Yeah, and then
So
also just like
it'll be interesting to
some
see the
of
line selection here.
a lot of that matchmaking comes in with you saw some of these players trying to go for level up. We ended up selling our Milio to play for this Gnar that we got from the Warpath, which definitely correct. It just feels weird to like sell your Warpath unit so early. It's like, okay, where is half of my value of this augment? That was because you're just down an augment until you can cash it out, and if you can't use the unit it gave you, it definitely hurts. But this should help higher odds to streak. And then for our Stargazer, I just noticed as we go up against Phoenix, for those that want to know, it is Mountain Hex. So we'll see Phoenix here. I don't know when got it in, so when they'll get their first Mountain Spat, but I did see the formation there for it, which I think is also pretty good here for the Treasure Hunt Lulu reroll. I think Mountain is one of the better ones too.
Hmm.
And
Also,
then
noticing that Cheng Shen Li took the Cho'Gath off the scaling hex, so maybe this is Gnar.
Yeah, I think hitting the early Gnar too there, like maybe it makes sense to go towards the Gnar. And then you can cash out maybe from the Warpath if you're able to cash out. You can get like the Rammus. You could high roll a Rammus too maybe. You can also get like Bard from the. It drops how many? I forget how many legendaries it drops. Three or four. So pretty good odds that you'll get a Bard.
Cool guy Dom, I believe, took restart mission.
Yeah, I believe so too. That is so. That is yep. As we look here at the board, everything. That's a
Oh,
pretty good
that
hit.
is
I
pretty
feel like.
good.
A Jax 2 when you know there's a bunch taken. Uh, Aurora 2, Kaisa 2, you got two good backliners when you also got a good frontliner from the Jax to be able to tank for these.
Hmm.
And then also being able to throw in, we've bought a Gragas out of shop to get the Psionic item to make this Jax tankier. And just the Pike in general to pair up with the Aurora. Pretty, like, I feel like
See,
you're
these
pretty
are a
happy from
collection
that
of
Voyager,
solid
from
units,
that, from
regardless
that
of
restart
traits.
mission. And having the we said the late game specialist being able to like just get this strong board, getting all the 2 stars from restart, and able just to push to 9 that much faster. CMBQ still on the 100 streak here, and then
Hmm.
taking the cognitive attacks, just even not even taking combat to like maintain the streak, and we're still sitting here at 6. I imagine we go 7 next turn, but just playing around this Talon too, utility Talon.
Yeah,
Just
I think a
jumping
lot of the
around,
silver
burning
hits for
everything, ionic
combat.
hits.
Yeah, I think this talent is just strong enough. Like you said, just running around burning and shredding everything with the ionic augment. That there aren't too many good combat hits, I think, that support this kind of board specifically. So just letting him
Yeah.
take the econ, hoping to run into some good matchmaking here. I don't think we'll find what he was looking for,
Yeah, we end up
but
losing
we'll
our
be able
streak
to
here
make
to
it
upset
to.
Max, who did end
Yeah,
up
we'll be able to
going
make it to
level
level
7.
7. Oh yeah, wait, I just realized Upside Mac also level 7.
See, I think that's one of those where it's like, I mean, it was 20 to level. I feel like, I don't know. I don't know what his best unit to put in there necessarily was, but I feel like I'm heavily just considering the level 7 there with the cheaper levels. You got the cognitive tax, like to be able to put that augment into like try and maintain that streak. Maybe his other two matchups were just like a guaranteed win and went for the 2 out of 3 chance.
I was gonna ask you how you felt about blessing speed because I felt like in this spot I would always take cryo because I don't really value speed. And I think cryo's low key just kind of busted, and I feel like the lobby agreed with me.
Yeah, I think Blessing of Speed is one. Yeah, I don't think we saw anyone here take it. I think Cryo is always good. Um, just like there's always a unit you can use it on. Blessing of Speed, I feel like is one of those like, I don't think a lot of the reroll comps really use it that well. And like, I feel like the units that want it are, I mean, I guess like a Diana that is a reroll or like a Master Yi. I feel like in order to use a lot of those blessings, you have to have your carry. Like a Zaya could use it, but you have to have the Zaya already. If you don't have Zaya at 3-5, it's like, are you letting it sit on your bench? It's like, no, you kind of need the value. So you're taking cryo. You're not gonna sit around for your carry and not have the boon. So I feel like it just blessings in general feel like one where it's really rare to just take it because you have to have the perfect spot for it. And I think the speed
Mhm.
one is probably the worst one.
This roll down hurt my soul.
Yeah. I've been there. I know you've been there. I feel like we've both watched each other have games like this,
I feel
and
like I'm
it's
here a
just
little
like,
more often than you, but okay.
I agree. One of us has a little better luck on our roll now. So, yeah, I think you're definitely an expert there. Yeah, not hitting the Lulu
Yeah,
2, the Jax 2, the Milio 2, just hitting everything and like really needing it to hit there because that board is like that's kind of like
yeah,
you
we
need
did
to
hit
be
Lulu.
strong here on 3-5 is where you need to be strong to not especially when you're already at 29 HP. Like I don't know how Phoenix is necessarily gonna make it out because I feel like a lot of these 3-cost rerolls, at least the way I play, I just lost streak till 3-5. Don't care about my HP. I'm just like, if I'm above 40 at 3-5, I'm happy. I'll roll it down. 9 out of 10 times you hit, it feels like, and this was that 1 out of 10 where it's like, okay, well I didn't hit anything. Now what do I do? I'm just bleeding out because now I sacrificed all this health for all this econ that did not pay off and get me. So I just sacrificed health for nothing, which
Yep.
really sucks. That 1 out of 10 game.
And on the other side, Audie was playing from kind of a strong position on stage two, is perfectly fine losing these rounds, especially towards the end of stage three, and still looking like has some good item quality with the small grab bag. Kind of a tale of two 3-cost rerolls. Phoenix lost after hitting the Lulu 2. Yeah, that looks painful.
Yeah, I wish we could see what the warpath value was, but we know it looked like alternated streak in stage two, and we only won two here in stage. Like, I don't think we're cashing out this warpath at all this game.
Yeah, we're gonna need to hit some kind of I don't know, honestly.
I
We're
will
gonna need to
say
hit
this
Rammus 2 on our roll down.
this Phoenix bench looking a lot better than it did 1 round ago.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, the thing that was painful about that roll down is with honor roll, all you needed was just to hit some of the units to get the rolls
Yeah,
snowballing and to find everything else. And just miss on everything makes that so much harder.
yeah, that's the like being one off of like any of them where it's like, oh, if I hit that one, then I'll hit the next one, that'll then hit the next one. And like we see here, we're rolling there, we're getting these rolls, getting all these free rolls, but unfortunately these free rolls do not count towards the treasure hunt. So we can see
Oh,
like we just finished off the stage 3 one. So we don't have the gold to even be like ideally you wanna I feel like in these 3 cost free rolls when playing treasure hunt. You kind of hit the treasure hunt at the end of stage 3 and you have it prepped to then be able to roll down all the way to like 0 on 4-1 and hit this treasure. But we just didn't have the econ for it. We didn't hit the free rerolls taking away from it, not getting like true econ to help out for it. It was a bit rough, but we have fully upgraded 2-star boards, but it just seems like it's not enough going up against the Yasuo's Blade Work Gnar on the other side.
so this is a really good artifact hit for Cheng Shenli, who really needs to win these rounds.
Also, I feel we really low rolled the treasure hunt getting the spat from it. Like if would have got at least a normal spat, like we have the Reforger, but not hitting the spatula and hitting the pan instead to not make a mountain spat, like that's the only thing you make from this board. And we don't have the rod for that to do anyways.
Interesting what he decides to pick here.
A free fawn maybe?
Oh, that might not be bad.
Okay, saved. The treasure hunt roll. Not getting TG, instead giving us the fawn so we can then level and play this Rost. I don't know if it's gonna be enough being this close to everything. And I feel like this is at the point where it's like, okay, we're just kind of tilt rolling a bit because we don't actually have the, okay, never mind. We had enough to cash out the treasure hunt. Oh, just in time, barely gets the Maokai in.
Oof.
But on the other side, Bard 2 with Eternal Pact. So will this Maokai hit
Yeah.
be enough? I'm not sure. 'Cause I don't know if we have the damage with just the Lulu. Milio not having any items. I don't think we could get through to the Bard 2 in time. Oh, maybe? Okay.
Guns are coming through.
It's real
Should be
close.
enough.
Alright, just enough. That
Not even
Maokai last
close.
second, just enough to stay alive.
The
Now
nice
it's a
thing is
matter,
if
can we hit Lulu?
Phoenix can kind of make it out, the Earth should be giving value because one of the things that sucks about Mountain sometimes is that it does feel like you have a dead item slot. Even though you do get all the Stargazer stats, it is still just an emblem instead of like a real item on these other units. So the Earth should help that feel a little bit better.
Oh. I don't know if you saw
Um,
what I saw, but that did not look good. We're at
yeah.
36 damage on our Warpath. I don't think there's a world anywhere that we can cash that out. I feel like we've swapped boards so many times. I feel like every board we try to go into has been
Oh, wait, that
contested.
wasn't even the Warpath that had the. That was the other Nar player.
Yeah, because Ego
Oh,
took over the Gnar. Cheng Li was Gnar, and then looked like got contested. Ego hit a bunch, and we're trying to then switch over to like a Kindred board. and
I feel like this was
it's just
typically
obnoxious.
the Warpath board that people played for before, but much different context. Those are playing from really strong melee opener positions, and this board does not feel like it will win a fight on stage 4 as Yi typically does.
Yeah, I think our warpath might be ending at 36.
Yeah.
Oh, this is
Another artifact.
also yeah, this is also one of my favorite Yasuo ones though, just being able to get the free burn if you don't have it yet at all. Like
Mhm.
if you're in a spot where you never got the items, I feel like it's definitely like a bailout boon a lot of the times. If you're able, like if you just haven't been able to hit the items, you needed specific items for another comp, or you did get it through other means. Definitely feels like straight up bailout. Cool guy Dom selling board, going level 9. We got the Blitzcrank from the God Boon or from the, what was Carousel.
So
I'm
where's
noticing
the
though our
gold?
items, we hit the Vex and no Vex items. I feel like we kind of I feel like we went level 9 a little too
I feel like
early.
Chang Shen Li might be able to steal some placements here. Uh yeah.
Yeah. I'm Ego on the other side getting a free round while we're printing Gnar one or two turns off based off the print. I feel like
Mhm.
that's such a big win for Ego just while sacking a few rounds for the Meeple.
Took explosive growth too, by the way. Winning around on explosive growth always feels good.
Explosive growth and printing. And just
Yep.
being able to steal around.
Looks like a race to the bottom between Cool Guy Dom and Chang Shen Li. Phoenix.
Oh,
Oh,
that feels so sad to like be to hit. It's like the game where it's like, oh, I go fast 9 all the time. I never find my Vexes, and then this game, I have all AD items and I find Vex. Whereas this on the other games when I have my Rage Blades, my AP, where's my Jin, where's my Graves? Not hitting either to be able to hold these AD units. A little unfortunate.
Dom does have Chang Shen Li and Phoenix in the pool, but Phoenix should be, I think, a little more stable. Oh, all right. Well, this will be an interesting one. Chang Shen Li needs every placement, already sitting 1 point above the cutoff for elimination. Maybe he can eke out a 6. There's maybe a chance that he can survive, but it's going to be a bit rough.
Yeah, I feel like these are the two boards where it's just like, oh, we did not hit the stuff that we want.
Yeah, and at least Chang Shen Li, at least the Master Yi board does have the Tom Kench 2 with an artifact to play around.
This
Huh?
might be the weakest Vex 2 I've ever seen.
Yeah.
We're still alive though. We survived to be able to fix our items potentially. Rage Blade
Okay.
Shojin. So at least we have the Rage Blade on Vex. But do we have the gold to hit anything? We find a Fiora, so like at least something that can use these AD items. We find the Akali as well to pair with it, which is huge.
Okay. Do you just move Shojin
Pretty sure you move the Edge of
Vex?
Night,
I don't. What it?
right? Don't you just move the Edge of Night to Fiora and Shojin Vex?
I don't know. I guess you want Edge of Night on backline just because like Shojin is truly useless, and Edge of Night does give attack speed as well as
I guess
some
that's
AP.
fair. I feel like neither one of these units wants Shojin, but I feel like Vex would use it a little bit better, and Fiora uses the Edge of Night a little bit better. But maybe with it being 2-star Vex, it's just like, I just need this unit to survive.
Yeah,
I
Phoenix
feel like the
still stuck on
blighting
8
doesn't do
Lulus.
anything. Yeah, Phoenix has been on these 8 for a long time, it feels like. And having the honor roll as well. Still not being able to hit.
Hmm.
That's definitely feels bad. Down to 1 life.
So I know that he has Vex too, but I'm wondering where his front line is. I don't know if it'll hold out against even a Zoe too. It's looking a bit rough. This Leona might just be too tanky.
Yeah, this Vex, or the Blitzcrank
Wait,
did roll
it's hitting
items
backline
off
though.
the TG though, so. And it's hitting these tank items, it stayed alive for so long that it
Hmm.
didn't even proc the passive until there were 2
Wait, he
units
didn't
left.
go 8th.
Oh,
I mean,
Phoenix
that
going
you
8th,
have to take that as a
unfortunately,
win.
from the Lulu.
You saw Cool Guy Dom hit a fist bump there, and honestly, well deserved.
And that's
You
definitely
saw
like the
there that
players that it's Cool Guy Dom and Chang Shanli that need all the points to be able to survive. Phoenix is like I think will have enough to be able to advance, but is in a very bad spot for the next 2 games to be able to hit that you need to top like you want to top 2 one of those games. Chang Shanli
exactly.
is hitting the 2-star Yi, hit the 2-star Kin like we've 2-starred our entire board now. At least all the important units, so maybe there's a chance. But on the other side, we've hit the Jin, we've got the 3-star Nar, and we have the
Two-star
2-star
Bard.
Ramas, 2-star Bard. We have everything. Not the best Bard Thieves Glove, but hey,
This Ramish just lives so long.
is that enough? Perfect
Oof.
lethal,
Wait,
unfortunately.
does Dom avoid 7th? I think he did.
Oh, we won the last one, so we survived an extra round. Going 7th, not hitting any of
Okay,
the
isn't
AD
this
units
act?
of those
Okay, wait.
items.
I'm kind of down. I'm kind of down for the win out here.
I mean, I do
I don't
feel
know if
bad
it's
with how
happening,
bad that
but
roll down was, so it's like kind of, but it's also like I don't feel like I'm ever rooting for a fast 9 Vex win out. But I do feel bad for
just hate
missing
Vex.
so hard on
We
the
just
other
hate
units
Vex.
and not having the Vex items. So, I mean, I'm down for it. I feel like we haven't seen this Darkstar Acel at all this game. I don't know where this
Yeah,
one came from.
and I don't know where our 2-star Acel is, which
Our
is
2-star
pretty
anything.
rough.
No 2-star Acel, Karma, Jin. I mean, that's a bit expected to not, but.
Okay. Okay.
And no 2-star backliners. But
Spot from
we
Upset
also
Max looks
something
so
that we've
strong with the
seen.
Static Shiv Vex too.
Yeah, something we have seen a lot on this patch for those that have not been following. Morgana got recent buffs, and a lot of players are prioritizing this Morgana as like one of your main tanks. Looks very strong now that you can throw on a lot of different boards. Cool Guy Dom's board looking pretty good now. I mean, we're still
If he could
haven't hit
just
a
hit some
bunch of two
front line.
stars, but I feel like this addition of Shen makes it look a lot better. I think the
Loki move to
sword just makes
Sterix, and
boards
then
look better.
yeah, go for double Ginsu.
And then we can Shojin. Do we Shojin the Shen or the Nunu? Yeah, the Shen. I think with the Shen buffs too, I think Shen is actually one of those users that loves the Shojin. He loves the Shojin, loves the adaptive, loves a lot of these like mana items to be able to cast a lot. And you see there, his cast doesn't go on himself, but the buff was that he gains all the
Mhm.
buffs from it too. Like, look how fast the Shen is casting now. Like, I think the Shen unit is really, really good after the most recent buffs, and is like the
I
unit that
feel
they
like
wanted
he's
him to
very
be.
underrated as a support unit. Like he does so much work.
I think he's also
Is
like
he?
he's half support, half actual carry now, which is kind of what his design was. So
He
like,
top forward.
it
He
finally,
top forward. Look at
this is
his face.
crazy. He doesn't believe it either. He's just like, what am I doing here? And the Shen too.
After
I think this is a win out. No, you know what? I just caster cursed it.
yeah, I don't know. Upset. That's a Static Shiv Vex 2 on the other side with frontline. Um, yeah.
Yeah, this one does look a bit stronger.
You know, this is a really good fourth from Cool Guy Dom. That is what
maybe
feels good, man.
maybe the Shen 2's enough though. I believe in the Shen.
I guess we'll see.
Oh, we'll find out this round.
I'm looking at the star levels across the board, and I'm feeling a bit concerned for Dom.
I don't know. We do have Shen 2 Blitz too, but yeah, we don't quite have the. We threw the Leona back. That'll help a
Hmm?
lot. We got a
We're
Nunu
gonna get
cast
stun
onto
on
the back.
backline. This is the board we
I.
beat last time to stabilize on 1 life.
Oh, it was kind of close though.
It was really close.
Almost,
Honestly,
almost. Hey, top four, top four. You take
that is a
that.
great fourth.
That was actually so close though.
Yeah, or not upset Max. Cool Guy Dom was able to scrape by that last round against that very board when the front line got reduced to just Leona, and Vex was able to hit all the backliners when Upset Max was still going to 9 on the Zoe too. able to play on the edge throughout the rest of that stage as well, making it to a really good fourth, honestly, in a spot where he really did not want to go bot to.
And then CMBQ's board, we got the dragon. Can we put dragon in? It's almost one of those where it's like, ah, oh, man, there's no way to put this dragon in. Our
Tell
traits
Ross put
are
in
too
Dragon.
strong.
Yup.
Oh, we did
Oh,
it. We have Blitz 2 and
Dragon
Chop. We
unlocked.
don't have the gold for it
Do you know
though.
if
I
Dragon
like the
works on
dragon.
hexes?
I don't know. I think it's funny though. It has the most HP, so it's getting the Eternal Pact bard.
Oh, oh, that's not ideal. Maybe we play the Morgana.
I mean, it might though. If I think you value the mana gen from the bard more. Like I'm putting the dragon up in the front corner, and when it dies, this bard will gain so much mana.
Mm.
Oh,
Or,
but
ooh, Blitzcrank
Blitzcrank is on the
wrapping.
bard. Oh, but Blitzcrank
Our
turned around
Blitzcrank
and hit the
peeled.
other Blitzcrank. But not
CMB
quite
lived this? I
enough.
don't
I
think
think
so.
we're... Oh, perfect lethal again. I was gonna say, I think we're 1 HP, but...
Yeah, I mean, this board looks a little strong.
Yeah, I don't know a world where Gnar can beat this. But hey, I think we take that second.
I mean, that
We
is a.
forced the other Gnar player off and became the Gnar to go second. Pretty good.
I mean, anytime you can go second in NAR in a lobby like this with all these players playing around these AP legendaries, you feel very happy about it.
And we'll see what is likely to be our final fight here. Unless Gnar can do something, like, they are good items, but I don't think there's a world that... I don't think this Blitz is gonna die, this Leona's not dying, this Vex is just killing everything, the Sona's got Biss items as well, just... Yeah, it's not even close. Very well played from Upset Max. Hitting the level 10 very fast, being able to streak, hitting all of our
Upset
units.
Max was on the border of making it just qualifying through automatically and making it to the top four. It'll depend how everyone else placed around the bottom near, but that performance might be enough to automatically qualify him to week two.
Yeah, I will give a second to see if we get updated scores. Like I said, we will be cutting our bot four after this game, and then we will be advancing our top four. I feel like it's definitely one of those where, like, it feels nice, like on the top four, where it's like, I don't know, up somewhere it's like, oh, I loaded up, prepped all this to play 2 games on the day, but it's like you can't complain. You made it to week 2. It's like, all right. On the other end, though, trying to load up, play 2 games to try and survive and not make it out definitely feels bad. That couldn't didn't have quite a chance to, squeak through a few more points to be able to push through. But we'll see who ends up getting there. I don't think Ching Shenli will be able to make it through off of not placing well there.
Yeah,
Some of the
only
others,
sitting 1 point above cutoff.
and
Very
then
unlikely.
getting, yeah, finishing in 7th there, probably not enough. I will go ahead and pull up scores. I don't think they will be fully updated, but let's see. Oh, that is, let me, is that fully, no, we don't even have game sevens. Okay, so there we go. We have half of our scores in. So we're still missing a bunch of the bottom, which I think is what we're like mostly interested in. We have at the top, looks like I said, VCLF score who's not in, doesn't matter. Um, it looks like Toddy and Upset Max pulling out that first. There's a good chance might be able to make it through. Because I don't think anyone below can pass. Because based off our scores, what is next? GG9 at 36. So if it gets 8 points, could be able to. But it looks like probably our top four there are all moving through. And then bottom four, we're definitely gonna have to wait and see how some of these others go still. I think we have. I'm going to switch back. I think we have the other lobby now as we're finishing up this one in stage 5, a little behind. Still everyone alive. So yeah, anything can still happen based off those scores. And like I said, it looks like Crazy Cat being one of those on the lower end of scores. Um, Needs to pull out something here. And it looks like that is gonna be rough for Crazy Cat. I don't think he'll necessarily be able to make it out.
Yeah, I don't think so with an eighth there. Needed to make up ground to get out of the bottom four, and an eighth is not really accomplishing that.
Juki here having the heavy as the crown MF on this challenger board. Pretty like I feel like I don't have quite enough. Didn't quite see the whole board. Like very strong there. Cool board to see. We have here. What is this board? This is Huntress. We saw that quickly. The constellation, the Huntress, the bow and arrow there. Having the Milio 3-star. We have our Jax upgraded. This is I feel like typically
This
what
is
we're
a
used to seeing
Warpath
the ultimate
Milio
value from.
reroll.
Oh, I'm assuming we got the Milio from the Warpath. I don't think this is enough. I don't think we've cashed out our Warpath, and I don't think we're going to. This is 2 games in a row. We're not getting our Warpath cash outs.
Hmm.
Let's see. I don't. We weren't close to upgrading anything else on the board. Cottontail here on the other side. The big Morgana, like mentioned it before, we're seeing a lot of like players playing around this Morgana tank now after the big buffs that she's gotten, which I'm liking to
Oh,
see a lot after a unit that hasn't seen a lot of play throughout the entire set.
this conduit augment, I've been seeing it pop up occasionally. I think people have been trying to play it into like some kind of reroll or whatever. I think this is probably the best way to play it. Just play around these vertical conduits with Morgana and Mech as your
Hmm.
tanks. Just play a bulky like super front line and just play like all the conduits on your board. Like this ASOL unit with this conduit augment is actually like pretty strong. Like I talked about before that ASOL just falls off super hard after stage 4. This is like one of the ways that like you can kind of mitigate that. Like if I think of that Yi did not wrap, this conduit board would have beaten a very, very strong, very capped out MF board.
Yeah, I think that's a huge call because I haven't seen that conduit augment like do well at all. Like I feel like I've mostly seen it as reroll. I think you're right. Being able to get like the four in, getting all of the benefit from those, because so the way that that augment works, so it adds 2 seconds to board cast, and all the other conduits get 1 second, which may not seem a lot, but like we saw like last game, the ASOL like barely winning, like just getting 1 extra second on that cast is so much extra damage. And when you have like we rarely see like a 4 conduit board. When you have that 4 conduit, they're going to be non-stop casting because as soon as they have the longer cast, and as soon as that cast ends, they have so much mana gen that they're going to immediately cast again. So it's like a twofold, like you're getting more and more casting on both ends. So
Mm-hmm.
it's just so much extra damage, and that extra second from ASOL to be able to finish off a unit, getting the Bard UFO to, like 1 more second to be able to give more damage amp, do more damage in general to be able to finish off some of these units, and then which also in turn gives you more econ, being able to hit some of the like suck up some of these units.
Shoma needing a good placement here whips out the Samira reroll. A really good spot with, as you said before, artifact plus the 2 bis Orn items, guaranteeing you get a good one. It's looking really strong.
Yeah, and we've seen this earlier, this artifact on the Orin do a lot of work even into Magic lobbies. Still doing very strong. Just how strong the Samira Orin board has been, and as mentioned before too, we don't see anyone like it's rare. I feel like to see the 7 space groove. I think we're just always opting in to play more legendaries now. So the 7 space groove doesn't give as much value anymore. Where that you can just gain more value from playing like the Redeemer in Rost or playing like just some of these extra legendaries. I think we're still missing the Shen. At one point, we'll end up hitting, ideally. But yeah, just getting all the
Ooh.
utility from legendaries. Able to take down Jukyu with the heavies, the Crown MF.
That's a very cool board, by the way. This is something I have not seen, but it looks like just kind of a new, interesting way to play it. Instead of playing like the whole reroll around like the Orden stuff, playing for MF3 and with that much econ with the forward thinking take, able to just push levels and kind of play it as like another carry on this like Yi Fiora board that just loves having more and more carries, especially
Am
later
I
in the
not
game.
mistaken, or is that second augment Zed and we're not playing Zed?
Yes.
We're playing four Timebreaker. Somebody told me not to play four Timebreaker with this, but
Okay, I think if you have a +1 time breaker, it's probably pretty good.
but what if you have a Zed though? Where's our Zed Shen? This Shen also, to me, looks insane, especially after the Shen buffs, always getting the attack speed regardless of where his cast is, and it not decaying on Shen. Like, this unit is
Hmm.
going to attack so fast, and has the extra range from Sniper. Like, this board looks so cool. I'm, like, fine with not having Zed on board with how cool this board is.
I was gonna say, like, where does Zed even fit in? Like, low key, like, it was probably a good idea to try to fit it in eventually, but with Z1 kind of just is a reverse font in the board that demands items. I feel like I'd rather have items on a Shen 2 and a Jin 2 and
Yep.
snipers, and obviously you need to itemize your Ezreal. There's just no room for the Z eventually, and I don't know if this is something planned, just getting a free Shojin, or if it was just a late game adjustment, but regardless, I do believe this is the strongest board for him.
Yeah, I just wonder what the board looked like on 4-2 when we chose to take the Zed augment. And also notice that, like, they didn't have the Zed that they got for free. Like, we sold it for econ at some point. We see one pop back up in shop now. That's some random Vex too,
Uh,
which I feel like we. Do
Low
you
key,
find a
you
way
can
to
play
play that
this.
with the Shen items? Move Shen to it? Or is, like, Shen that much stronger now?
I think
I don't know if this is bait or if this is real. Like, with the Shen items.
can't tell either. Honestly, it might
Because
be
it's like,
bait. It might be better to just level up for this Morgana because you probably just don't need more damage on this board.
yeah, I think so too. Because it's like, I think the Vex 2 and the Shen 2 with these items, I think are pretty comparable in damage.
Hmm.
Like, I'm just watching how fast the Shen attacks and having, like, getting the shielding, getting all the ramping, stacking. Like, oh, I wish we could see the damage chart, how much this Shen is doing. This Shen looks so cool, though.
If we like enough to do it, and I think also, yeah, the channel also providing so much utility for the extra attack speed on Ezreal, a unit that doesn't like to build the attack speed items but loves the attack speed, as well as Jin, who just scales off the extra attack speed.
Man, I'm glad we were able to catch this game. Both of these boards on the top two look so cool to me. Like, I feel
Yeah,
like
not
don't typically
very
see.
often are you seeing Ezreal Cho'Gath cap out this high.
Yeah, like I feel like every single time I've ever played Ezreal Cho'Gath, I've gone fifth, and it just like looks so middling. This is like
Yeah,
such a cool version to cap it out. And then on the other side, we have this cool Marauder, heavy as the crown, Challenger, like MF. Like we have a bit of everything on the other side. Like this looks so cool.
This Ezreal Cho'Gath reroll comp, had one game over the last 2 days and it finished a sixth. So definitely not something people are prioritizing very high or very excited to play, but Millennium Fox finding the spot for it with the
Yeah,
Timebreaker and Sniper emblem.
I'm assuming from our initial rolls, we got the Timebreaker Sniper and went, okay, we're playing this. Like, I'm assuming neither of those came from Reforge, because I feel like that's the, oh, I got an Ezreal from my spats. Well, if I have the Ezreal, I have the Cho'Gath to start, maybe just like, all right, well, I guess this is the time to play it. And then we just hit everything. We're level 10 with Ezreal Cho.
Yep. Do you ever play Riven over Emilio eventually?
Um,
With no
I think
items?
it just makes no difference,
Hmm.
because you're not getting their traits on either end. I think if anything, the Melio, it's another backline, and I think the Riven I think a Riven 2 would be better, but you just don't want to spend the gold on it.
Mm-hmm.
But at this
Wow.
point, like, you
Ezreal
have
is just
everything up 50.
deleting things.
Yeah, I'm really curious how many stacks it ended up finishing with. Like, it feels like we had to have just killed everything early, just stacked up. I don't know, cool boards. I think both of those are. Yeah, I don't remember the last time I saw Ezreal Cho pop off like that. I mean, it helps a lot when you hit a Timebreaker Sniper Spat, and then you're able to make it to a Shen 2. A
Mm-hmm.
recently buffed Shen with these items. Looks pretty cool to me.
Yeah, so they recently buffed Shen as well as I believe 1 or 2 patches ago they buffed the middle breakpoints of sniper that make having like 3 and 4 sniper even better on this board.
Yeah, and I think we got we've had like Shen buffs like 3 in a row, it feels like. And I think the most recent ones though were really to like help make him actually be a damage, like that he benefits from his own attack speed. It doesn't matter where it casts, it doesn't decay. Like they did everything to actually make him a character and like actually be able to use the items now. So
Mhm.
I think that's huge for that unit, and it feels good to actually itemize him again instead of just be a sword bot. But yeah, as we look at scores here, we have all of our game eights in, and then we see here the I feel like the main broadcast just got really loud. But yeah, we're gonna say goodbye here to Metzua, Chingxunli, Crazy Cat, and Bobster. At the top side, we see that we already saw VCLF, Black Sheep, Toddy, and Upset Max all moving on to the next day. Tactic Torn just missing it out on tiebreaker it looks to be able to advance, but still in a very good spot after the next 2 games to be able to go. But I feel like our points have kind of tightened a bit.
Yeah, some things I want to shout out. We saw that cool guy Dom talking about how important it was that he avoided bot 2 there. Those extra like 3 or 4 placements was the reason why he was actually able to make the cut. The cut ended up getting a bit higher from where we maybe thought it was going to be, sitting at 33 points right now. 1 point above the cutoff line. So every single one of those placements mattered. That one round where Vex was hitting the backline was so important. As well as that game, Millennium Fox, needing some good placements, sitting towards the bottom, now finding himself back around the middle after that very cool first place board.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think Cool Guy Dom being 1 point above the cutoff, and depending on how tiebreakers worked out, might have needed that one extra point because might have fallen behind. So yeah, I feel like that's one of those where it's like you can definitely breathe a sigh of relief and be like, okay, reset, play the next 2 games. And it looks like I said, our points are all so close. Like the next cutoff is gonna be at the 24th spot, which is currently at 35 points. But we go all the way up into 13th, where people are trying to make their way up in advance with only 4 points ahead of that. Like it is very, very this middle. I feel like now that we got rid of our bot 4 and our top 4, everything is so close. So
Yeah,
it'll be
our bottom
interesting to
8
see how
being
these
2
shake out.
points against each other is going to be so stressful.
Yeah, every player, every single position, it's where every fight's gonna matter. It could be one round you mess up, you miss a transition, you're slow on a roll down or something. Could be every single one, could be the last. But we will find out here shortly. We'll send us to a break real quick, and then we'll come back with our third game. All right, welcome back, everyone. As we've now jumped into our third, we've made our cuts, we've made our advances, and now we're looking to see where those next four fall out. And we jump into here with this one is as we jump into stage one, it is a Zoe encounter. We have our gold sub to start our third game.
That one's fun.
Yeah, I think gold sub is one of those where it's like, I mean, I'm okay with as long as I like it when it's like, here's like 5 gold. Like feels like nice. Like, oh, I get a little something, little extra on. I get dropped like the rare, like, oh, here's 15 gold. I'm like, this is too much. I didn't need this. We don't all need this. Can we slow it down a bit? I like the slower tempo a bit. But yeah, there's a lot that like I don't know. Sometimes though, it definitely is a bailout. You're like you're doing your treasure rolls. You're trying to find your items. It didn't go as well as you want. You don't find your own. And you're like, oh no, you start stressing, and then all of a sudden, hey, here's 20 gold back. Ooh, do we get a warpath again? Nope, no warpath. We won't see
Oh,
a third warpath fail. We roll it pretty quickly. We see on the side Reddy with a two tanky. Was Reddy one of our two tanky players earlier? I don't remember. I don't think
um,
so. That was a Gnar
I remember
player.
Toddy was one of them
Yes.
a
I
couple
remember
games
it was
ago.
Shaco with another birthday reunion. Cottontail with our. That's the divine artifact one, right?
Mhm.
Spencer with our savings account. Econ up. Shoma ends up taking the Epoch. Artrix with the money hungry. Tacticorn also with the money hungry. And then Greya with prize fighter, which I always think is interesting to see. Kind of, we saw picking last, kind of looking at a lot of these boards. I think a lot of these boards didn't look super strong, and nobody took like some heavy win out augments. It seems like a lot of people econ like early
It
two
seems
tankies,
like
whatever. We have some money hungries. We have a bunch of just like cash. Might be an easy prize fighter stage two for him.
so people seem very fine with losing the stage, not slamming. I think a big thing about this patch and this set in general is when people don't have a spot they like, they're very willing to just uh maybe not even full loss, but just not commit to anything and just play for at least one of the anvils on the stage
Hmm.
two neutrals. So whenever you get a spot, like I think that's why we see a lot of people taking Warpath. It's just banking
Shoma,
on being able to play really easy stage two and potentially early stage three.
Shoma here holding the two animas, which I think is kind of interesting looking at point wise, being at 35. I think that what did we end up saying? Like, what is our cutoff right now? Like, I feel like 35 is like in the you can get some top fours, like you're still fine.
Hmm.
So not
I
needing to
think the thing is
necessarily
though,
get the
once
first.
you're kind of at the bottom, you do need to make up that ground to get to the middle eventually, rather than just skirting by. And Shoma has been kind of stuck at the bottom for a while, so maybe he's kind of starting to feel like they need to break back into that middle ground.
Yeah, and I guess you didn't have any of the other upgrades, any of the other units. See a bunch of people losing anyway, so it's like, okay, well, I can just hold these two. We can find a buyer and be able to like also kind of. I feel like you're not really forcing other people off the anima line at that because people are like, oh, you're only two. Like I can still like if I find it, I can play it. But
Mhm.
there might be a few people that like might be considering it to scare them off if they have other options.
I was also wondering with the epic rolls if they were really committed to that type of thing, whether or not they would have used their rolls like at all early this stage. Because I think one thing that probably could have been done is looking for with Aurora and Jinx being on the bench, like maybe rolling to try to find a Briar there would have been good, or maybe
Yeah, I was really surprised to not see. We do have the Briar now, but I was really
yeah.
surprised to not see those free rerolls done to find the Briar. And because it's Epoch, since you're level 4, there is also the chance at hitting the Alawi. But
Mhm.
having one of the three costs already and having the Jinx, it's like you have two options there, and the Briar one being the easier of the two. So yeah, I was a little surprised to not seeing them rolled, but I also don't know the exact breakpoints in that like those first two losses aren't that big. Like we're minus 45 to our cash out there, which might not matter at all, depending on
I
what the
believe it's
breakpoints are there.
25 and 30 for the first two losses.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I was thinking it was 20 then 25. But you're right. I was 5 off on each, so an extra, yeah, 25 there. So we're 55 lower than what could have been if we had it from the start. But it's also not guaranteed that you hit from those two epoch rolls anyways, so might have
Mhm.
just saved two free rerolls. And Thresh, my favorite god to see. Lots of randomness. We'll see if anybody hits anything crazy. It'll be kind of hard to necessarily see what everyone ends up getting here from these. That is a Pantheon 2 on our board from Cottontail as well, and having the Soraka emblem. I think, yeah, I'm surprised we didn't have the items on the Pantheon last turn though, since we were on streak already. Greya with the prize fighter, full win streak. Like I said, a lot of this lobby looks very weak that we're able to play this.
Mhm.
I think this is also like this just looks like it's a Jinx reroll game. We have the Primordians, we're holding the Nova units, or the Akali. We have the items. I think this is just like yeah,
I was about to ask if this
this
is
comp
ever
wants so
Zaya.
many items. Um, I don't know what Stargazer is. It could potentially be if it's a good Stargazer, but I don't know what Stargazer is to make that judgment call. And so close. Unfortunately, we end up losing this one to the birthday reunion.
Hmm.
But I've also seen some people take this prize fighter and not even like streak in stage two, like win two, and just getting the plus two items regardless.
Hmm.
Like you're down less. Like if kind of think about it, even if you just cash out one, if you get 5 wins across stage two and three to cash out one more, you're up 3 items. I mean, that's a salvage bin. That's like a lot of the item artifacts in gold, or not artifacts, but item augments are 2 or 3 items. Pandora's is two
Hmm.
components. Like, so prize fighter just being two regardless, even if you're not able to streak, is still good value.
So I think it's very like the fact that you get a full item up on stage two and it lets you streak is such a good part about the augment.
Hmm.
Especially in a spot like this where we talked about it earlier, not everyone is really playing the super strong boards. We see someone playing NL, we see one on the other side slamming a single item.
Yeah, and I feel like it's part of where it's like, I wonder how much it comes into these minds, these players that are at these different like point break points where if like you're at the top where it's just like, all right, well, cool, I'm just gonna like tempo through all these players that are like trying to play for these lost streaks and play for like these full win outs where it's either like, okay, well, I need a first or second, so I'm going to sack my early game to be able to play for those top positions. And it just makes
Hmm.
it easier for those people that are towards the top of the leaderboard. Just like, all right, cool, you guys all fight over that. Sure, two of you will survive it, and then I'll collect my humble third or fourth, and I'll advance regardless. So it's like you guys fight it out, and I'm just gonna, play my game.
Yeah, and these types of spots are how you end up in a lot of your first place spots anyway. Just playing a strong board, start of the game, just playing for top three, and then things go really well for you on stage three and stage four, and that unlocks that true cap. Maybe getting to level 9 or getting to level 10 or getting a really strong augment later in the game. So
Hmm.
never a bad idea just to play for these strong early boards that could convert into top threes.
Yeah, and it looked like we got a decent amount of gold there from the gold sub. It looked like 7, 8 gold there. So seems like I feel like that's about where it's like a little bit on the high end of variance, but still like where it like feels good still.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be a nice little boost to a bunch of these players. A bunch of these like Greya being able to go six this turn and still make 40, which gives
I
us
think this turn will
one
be
more
where we
damage
decide
into
what
the
we're
anima
doing.
player.
True.
As this Gwen 2 wrecks everything. And we'll see if we get our. Have we had any prismatics today? I don't think we've seen
Yes,
us.
we had a silver prismatic game before we had the gold.
Okay, that's right. So we'll see if we end up getting any more. And we get yet another silver here. I feel like we've seen a lot of silver augments today,
Mm-hmm. Some
especially in
pretty good
this
ones here
3-2
though.
stage. Ooh, misconnections looks really good. Oh, Twin Guardians also looks really good. The extra combat
Mm-hmm.
strength. And a board that like can actually position around it pretty well. Spencer getting the
Ooh,
the big dummy. And then hitting a Zoe too after that and a Nami.
that is
Oh,
pretty
I guess
good.
the dummy gives you a 2 star now. Tactic Torn also getting a 2 star Zoe from it. I forgot that the dummy gives you a 2-star backliner now.
Hmm.
'Cause I don't think I've clicked it since it's given that. I don't think I've seen this offered that often.
Reddy
It's
gets
called
dupes
a
in the
tools.
two tanky line.
Oh, that is
Always
big.
feels good. Wait,
We're just
Reddy
missing.
got the troll. Reddy got the grief on the anima.
Sorry, Shoma, and only killing one there. Oh, that's so bad for Shoma, who really needs these top points. You can see it on his face. They were just like, I don't.
Yeah.
It feels like your game's kind of over there.
I say this late too. Can you even make it back? Like, if it's 3-1, you can still maybe make it to 4-2 on 400 with like one life. But I don't know now if you can make it there. If you just take a 300 and dip, or what the plan
Yeah,
is here.
it's also bad because I haven't watched. Like, I think a lot of the high-low players are of the jump. If you can't make it to 400, you just want to take 100, 100, 100 three
Yeah,
times.
it's just more gold
Yeah, and
and
like
more
just
resources.
better items than you would get from the 300 because it's like, oh, if you get like an Aurora on the 3-1, it's like, can your board even necessarily use that? Whereas
Hmm.
you could get two 15% HP shields and like a budget Rage Blade or something from the prototype
Hmm.
items. But we're at that spot where we're at 170, so we've already passed the 100. So now you're kind of stuck with like, well, the 200s are useless. So it's like, are you trying to take a 200 and then a 100, or like, are you just trying to get out? Do you still try and push for that 400? That feels like the worst spot to get griefed.
Yeah. On the other end, though, Reddy, I think we'll be able to pull off a successful 8 loss and be a big roll down next turn to try to stabilize. But one of the people that super outcap him are already kneecapped, so that has to feel good.
You either get capped or kneecapped, which which end are you on? But yeah, we'll see here as we come back to the boons. We'll get more Thresh, we'll get random boons, or 5 free rerolls, which I think is big there for somebody like Ready trying to be able to. We have the dupes, we're trying to play for the
Hmm.
2 tank, and we need all of this econ to be able to hit everything, and we're low on life, so it's like we just kind of take that. I
I
think
think
other than that,
Shaco is the only one that took it.
interesting. So I think the Thresh ones are just like so much extra value. So I wish it was just easier to see what everyone ended up getting from the Thresh, but
Hmm.
yeah, it can just be hard to tell because some of them can have a big impact, whereas others just like might not matter that much.
Tacticoin also griefing, maybe potentially griefing Shoma. We notice Shoma is on a 2-win streak. I wonder what the line is from here.
Yeah, we have just a single Deathblade slammed. I mean, we have the big dummy, which is a lot of HP, but we've also lost every round since then. I feel like we just don't have the HP. We're 7. Like, it's really hard to go fast 9. You don't have the items. I don't. These items just like so difficult. I don't know. Like, I feel like when I see Deathblade, it's like Jin Graves. Like, I don't. I feel like there's not a whole lot in the forecast space because Zaya doesn't want it. Yi doesn't want it. I guess the Corki
Hmm.
does. I feel like we've not seen a lot of Corki today either. And then, like, the
This
other
Corki's
items
just
of
awkward
these
with the rod,
aren't
though.
Corki items. So, I mean, the rod can be Crown Guard, but then, like, your
Maybe
other.
Crown Guard adaptive, probably.
Yeah. Like, it feels like that's kind of the best out when you have a Deathblade slammed. So, speaking of Corki, there's one in shop there, but oh, and I guess the other Deathblade one is like an MF, but feels
Hmm.
like we're kind of past that line there, not having it and it being contested here. Actually, I don't think this is even an MF line. We're looking for this is another probably looking to play Vex,
Yeah, I think Artix is trying to go straight to 9 here. A very
having the
strong
money
stage
hungry
2 and
value,
3.
having the gold sub, having the Leona 3 already. Like we should be able to hit there pretty safely, being at 85 HP. And
Hmm.
I feel like a lot of these boards just look so weak. I don't know. Like know like some of the dummies they lost a lot of board strength to get the big dummy and not having a bunch of upgrades so they look weaker. But everyone stage 2 for the most part looked pretty weak. It feels like a lot of players trying to end. the anima Shoma getting griefed on the anima, so it's like you don't have to worry about the big 4 or 500 cash outs potentially.
Yeah, so even regardless of the Dumify players, we had like some other savings account players. Spencer was playing savings account into Dumify. We had another savings account player. We also had Reddy playing for the full 8 loss streak on 2 tanky, and obviously Shoma playing the anima. So a lot of weak boards that Arx was really able to just feast on throughout the last 2 stages.
Yeah, and Shaco here, who we've not seen board a lot either, as we looked away, but had a lot of big upgrades there. Like 2 tempo players towards the top. Ready here, being able
Mhm.
to still not hit a lot of those units. Uh, like we had to use one of our dupes as well, which kind of makes that a bit harder. Not having
I
this.
think we haven't used dupe yet. I think dupe comes now
Oh, you're right. You're right. I was thinking it was the other one
or
that
next
had two.
turn.
Okay. So yeah, it should be one more turn.
But yeah, we
Shoma, we
still
cashed out
whiffed pretty
our
hard.
tentacle one, which I think the tentacle one is probably the best one to get from the 200.
I say this
So
is what you were probably hoping for in this spot.
yeah, I think the other ones, getting the rocket or getting the Aurora guiding hex one, not near as strong. Being able to get a tank item here, like getting this Morgana too is big. We're sitting on 5 Morganas. Are we holding out? Maybe we'll have reinforcement. Get the Vex, like after all this, getting her anima griefed, and then be like, sorry guys, Morgana 3 instead. I think that's one where you hold them this turn,
We
and then
whiffed
if
the
you,
JG Rabadons.
ooh, oh, never
Oh,
mind, never
never mind.
punished. And also having the guard breaker that we could move the void staff over.
Hmm. Ended up working out on
So
the last anvil.
yeah, item's not too bad. Oh, do we see reinforcement? It might be, we might get a prismatic. Who knows? We'll see what happens. Okay, we did get gold. We
Gold.
could hit reinforcement. Oh,
Hmm?
like you go for it, right? I think this is where you're scouting around. You're
I don't think
looking, does
you.
anybody else have a Morgana?
I think the apotheotic forge.
Okay, we took
Oh,
the
we
safe route.
whiffed.
We
The
didn't.
one you're really looking for there is Ari's. I believe Ari's actually one of Acel's best artifacts. I
Yep.
think that's what he's going for there. Really unfortunate missing that.
Yeah, I think the Soraka one though is like a good consolation though for it.
Yep.
Because especially being on the lower end of HP, that you can be able to gain some of that HP back. Oh, and to go back to our Stargazer, this is Boar, so we did end up going towards the Zaya here. Not the best Zaya items, but not bad either. And Boar being
Mhm.
one of the stronger ones. If we just hit the Zaya too, so we can like make sure we get these. And with a lot of the boards being like on the bit of the weaker end, you might be able to like cash out some of these boards. On Cottontail's side, hitting the Vagar 3 without printing, it looks like.
Yeah, I was about to say. Was that from Booster Pack?
Oh, you know what? It probably was, because I don't think we had Vagars. So I think we just got a free Vagar 3 from Booster.
But yeah, regardless, I think even though the items are pretty bad for Zaya, these all can eventually go into gym. So maybe you can look for
Yep,
like one Kraken and maybe like a red buff for a Giant Slayer layer. But also, having Ginsu isn't that bad. Having that scaling aspect, even though you miss
yep.
Kraken, you get some scaling with the Giant Dummy and your Tonkench too. It should be enough to hold you down for the rest of this stage at least.
Yeah, ready doing the roll down, going all the way down as far as we can. We're sitting on 6 Orns and 6 Amiras. We do have these 2 dupes, so I'm curious to see if it's like, oh, do we hit one Orn? Do we just insta dupe it and then try and find the rolls from Samira later? Or are we trying to greed out and
Hmm.
hit both of them? But our HP is starting to get a bit scary.
Where did Spencer get this emblem from? Is that from a Thresh? Regardless, Space Groove emblem is actually a line that I think people might have maybe thought less about with all the Samira Orn talk going into the last few patches, but this line is still very strong, especially on stage 4. Spencer's going to use this to try to leverage into a strong Space Groove 9 board and cap out around Blitz 2 and probably Shen 2.
Yeah, and already having the Shen, having the Riven too, the Nami too, so like that board looks very stable in the meantime until can actually like hit the upgrades for the legendary. So I feel like yeah, I feel like that Space Groove spat had to have come from Augment. I'm curious if it was like the one where Echo gives a spat, or if it was like the Evelyn one where it's gain a random emblem and we just high rolled Space Groove.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't think we got from the PvE round. I don't think it was a gold orb that could have dropped the
Nope.
spatula.
Okay, we have Orin 2 if we want it.
Oh, we found one more. Okay, so we're one off Samira if we want. Okay, we do use one of our dupes, which I think is the right call. Now we're just one off Samira.
Oof.
And we have the Blitzcrank. We have two Blitzcranks. We have Shen waiting for whenever we are able to level up. So
Mm-hmm.
looking pretty good. We just need the glove for the last whisper, which we'll get on the treasure round, assuming we're not at actual 0 gold.
Mm-hmm. And the items overall look pretty good.
Yeah, agreed. I think in the space group you generally don't care for the spirit as much, but spirit is still a really good item. It just
Mm-hmm.
overlaps with the space group healing a little bit. You'd rather have like a Warmugs or Stone Plate to guarantee one of those as your radiant, but I feel like you also can't complain again about the spirit.
Yeah,
Like
it's
this
probably
unit
your
is not
third
dying.
best.
And it's one of those where, hey, if you do find one of the others, hey, you throw it on the second Orn.
True.
I think the only thing that we can complain a little bit about his ready is like, okay, I have 0 gloves. Where's my last whisper? Where's my shred? Jumping over on Tacticorn's board, we hit the Zaya
Got
too. We also have a
an emblem
Bastion
from
spat
Thresh.
here. So I'm wondering if this one came from Thresh, right? Because we didn't have it
Mm-hmm.
before 4-5. Or yeah, I don't think we had it, so it wasn't like, oh, maybe people did get gold orbs and missed it that could have had spatulas. But I think this one
Mm-hmm.
definitely came from Thresh as well, because I don't remember having that one before.
Do you ever
And
play for Bastion here, or do you ever try to find some Sunder and then drop the Aatrox, do you think?
um, I think we're kind of far from being able to hit this. I mean, I don't think you want even shroud that much in this board because Zaya bounces around, Jin hits the backline a lot, so you're losing a lot of value when you really want the last whisper. Like you'd take it over not. But I think you can play the Aatrox here. Like our board is strong. We are gonna gain more gold from the board that I think you're just looking to go 9 and play the 4 Bastion.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense.
At least that's my train of thought what I would be looking to see and go for. Um, as we jump up around Greya, we have a Fiora 2 here that looks like we probably got from the Gilded Steel. Helped a lot to get there. But Fiora 2 on 8, pretty good. We might have printed one as well from the Tom Kench. Um, but playing this Yi Kindred line that I feel like every time I feel like I see Yi now, people just kind of like, he seems more like the synergy bot. And we're like, the
Yeah, I was gonna
true carry
say
now is just Kindred.
Kindred seems to be getting a lot of like more of the primary play now. Especially I think the idea is that later in the game you want to move any of the Yi items you would have had to Fiora 2 anyway, as well as Kindred is probably late better in these later fights in most
Hmm.
of the games. Once people get their like super strong boards and Yi kind of just falls off since you can't eat those boards alive anymore.
This board from Shaco, that is a lot of mana on that Nunu.
Yep.
And
New
being able
Nubis.
to, I feel like we getting that extra gold, and I think we also, oh, I was gonna say, I thought we rolled a 1 from Thresh, but no, we're Ari Boon on this one, so that was just gold sub. That was a lot of gold from the gold sub, which is really helpful
Mm-hmm.
here to be able to get like an extra upgrade and move some of these units. Able to get a Graves in to start stacking, but this Graves doesn't have. I mean, we do have 2 Thieves Gloves that it could use. We have 3 Thieves Gloves on this board, which is what you really want to see on these legendary boards.
Mm-hmm.
So big upgrades. This Vex is going to be a monster, and like being able to have to fight through 3 Thieves Gloves on all these upgraded units, I think Shaco is in a very good spot, and also being middle of the pack in HP as well. Reddy
Ready.
ended up hitting the 3-star Samira. We got our last Swiss first. We have all our stuff. All that's left now is to oh, that is also quite a big roll there, being able to hit the Thresh dropping a tier to finish off a Shojin.
Yep.
And
Oh
we
yeah,
did
our
hear
Xayah items look a
Tacticorn. We were
lot
able
better
to
now
go
with the
9.
Kraken.
We were able to go 9, get the Shannon, get the 4 Bastion. Like, I think this looks so strong. And I also like how the Boar
Hmm.
Hex, a lot of times, we end up moving it there, but it feels like it just gives you that spot. It's like, hey, put your sword here. You're not getting value from Stargazer. Here's a nice little spot to buff up your team sometimes.
See if it's enough to take down this two tanky Samira setup. The board should be extremely tanky with double. I believe it was double item. Oh no, it is just full item Nunu, but 4 Bastion though, and the double Val means
Yeah,
the
and
whole
we do
board is
have
tanky and Nunu is spam casting.
Yeah, and we have the scaling Zaya with the Rageblade Kraken that it's getting there with. This Ornn is
It's hitting
just
Samira.
so difficult to kill, but yeah, it bounces to the Ornn just enough and ready on 1 life or 1 HP, able to survive. And there's so much to track. I feel like every time jump around, we have all these Tom Kenches
Mm-hmm.
spitting out things. We have Thresh rolls coming from everyone. Then we get on each stage we get gold. So there's just so much extra stuff being dropped around, thrown around for each of these boards.
Yeah.
Taxicorn I
That's with the
saw on the
Shen there to
side hit the
play.
Jin 2 on that Zaya board that we just jumped away from the barely one. So that's a
Ooh.
huge upgrade for the Jin that also hit
Yeah.
2 items.
Yeah, third
And we
item
see
coming up too off the next
everywhere we
round.
go, we're fighting Samira Ornn.
This is the fight for 8th place.
Yeah, there's a good Thieves Glove roll on the Fiora. BT is huge, and then hitting Bramble into this matchup in particular, I think is also huge. Like this Fiora is gonna be
Hmm.
very difficult to kill. While this Kindred also just
Blitz goes
scaling up on
down.
the other side. But unlike the Zaya, this Kindred doesn't really have easy access to take down the Samira. So
And
it
this
just can't get
board.
through this Ornn. Man, this Ornn's taken so many nerfs and it still just looks so strong. Tacticorn and Greya making an exit here. That'll be really difficult for Greya, who is not quite on the bottom end point standings, but in that lower half,
Time we
taking
see
8th
our
is very
Xayah
difficult.
players and we think, oh, they should be in a good spot now. They just keep dying.
Yeah, I feel like this, yeah. Anytime we think Zaya looks good, we just get proven wrong. Or they're just like bad matchmaking into something else. Shoma
Hmm.
here getting the anima cash out kind of griefed a bit. Oh wait, no, yeah. This is the Shoma
Yep.
board. We have the tentacle over there on the right, but and then missing out on the Ari's aura, but do getting the Soraka one, being able to gain a little bit of that HP back to maybe put us up to 2 lives if we like a 1 unit loss here, but we are going against Arctics on the other side with a pretty big Vex too. And this Nunu
Hmm.
too is taking a bit to go down, but this fight is pretty close. The Rockets are hitting onto the back line, but I don't think it's quite enough and not enough HP
Uh.
stacked back up from the Sorakas to survive.
Oof. Barely goes down there. It was a nice recovery from a spot that looked really doomed. Ready going down means Shoma actually pulls out a 5th there.
Yeah. I feel like you have to be happy with the 5th with your anima getting griefed and then like not being able to hit some of your stuff. But it does put you in a spot where it's like you need a top 2 in the next game to be able to advance.
Yeah. And I think Cottontail will bow out 4th here, not able to find the Bard too, which is really important on this board. And the itemization is also a little bit awkward with the double JG Vigar.
Yeah. Guaranteed crits though.
That is true. It gives Shojin, it gives Nash's value. We saw in the other game the other Vigar play for Shojin Deathcap. People have been kind of shying away from full forcing this JG Nasher line
Hmm.
because without both Nasher, the build kind of does less DPS than just mana plus raw EP. So
Yep.
maybe this is one way to get around that.
Yeah, and unfortunately Bramble not enough going up into the Vex, doing the magic
Yeah.
damage, and this looks like perfect lethal to me. The 5 unit
Yep.
loss. So unfortunate loss there. Going out 4th. Also one of like a bit higher, I think barely in the top half of ours. So like I said, all of these points are so close though. It feels like every fight, every position, every HP, every fight might be the difference in making it to week 2.
Once again, we talked about earlier, Artix was able to play Money Hungry off of a win streak. Being able to take Econ and Streak the first two stages of the board means you set yourself up for a really good chance to play for these level 9 legendary count boards. We see Shaco also, with the birthday reunion, was able to make it to a 5 cost fast 9 setup with the Vex this time. I don't know if he'll have enough Grave scalings to beat out Arctic boards, but we'll see.
And as we say, I didn't see what upgrades we're actually going towards on this Graves as we hit our Graves 2 here. But like, I feel like it doesn't even matter at this point what upgrades we get on this because we have a very, very strong Vex. We have our Shen with thieves, like all of these Thieves Gloves. We have triple item on Nunu. Like, Shoma's board looks insane. Spencer
Spencer is
over
level
here
10.
getting that Space Groove, level 10. All of these upgrades, these boards like very strong.
Dumbify level 10. This board is quite tanky.
That is a big dummy. That is so much HP. Seeing that HP bar on it barely go down to the Vex on the other side. Like it's slowly moving down.
Yep.
Even the Blitzcrank having to spend the cast to throw the dummy away.
Yep, that dummy lasted a good 10 seconds, and that's before these other AP carries are getting to this double declaw Palm Kench.
Oh, but still not quite enough. This Vex actually is able to take down the level 10 board from Spencer, but it is pretty close there. But I don't know how much stronger we can get. All three of these boards very, very strong on the top side. We
Looks like
do
there
get a
are some
cash out
upgrades
from
for us to find.
the Tom Kench. Giving us that extra cash for the Ross too.
If we can find Blitzcrank 2, I think his odds look really good. Blitzcrank 2 or a Shen 2. Or a Nunu
Yeah.
2. There's some upgrades still left to be had on Spencer's board.
Shaco here on the other side, all we're needing is really also looking for that Blitz too. Fiora doesn't have items, but we can always move like these Morgana Thieves Gloves over or something if need to. I'm also noticing we don't have Nova on this board, right? I don't see. Oh, never mind. There is a Collie. I was looking around for a Collie and didn't see it,
Mm.
but it is there. It's a 1 star. But our Vex v Vex board's going on. This Nunu is just casting so much. It casts so early in the fight and then able to
Yep.
cast a second time. These Graves items, not quite the best, but being able to stick around for a bit.
I think the second win keeping the tanks alive might have been able to do it, keeping that Morgana a little bit of extra health, and also you just have Vex 2, Bard 2, and Asona 2. Like, it's really hard to outcap that.
Oh, I think that's funny seeing the laser ballistics pop up and we can't afford it. I don't even know if you can sell one of these units. Can if
I
you hit E
don't
on one of
know.
the units, I don't think you can sell. Like
That,
I've never seen that grayed out where you don't have enough gold to buy it.
yeah, that's. I don't know if that would have made that much of a difference anyway, but that does definitely feel bad.
That's so funny to me that that
Especially
can
since there
happen
won't
though.
be enough time to get to laser.
Yeah, because you will not be seeing it again. But
Do we have a reforger for our Shojin Nasher? How do we end up with IE Titans?
yeah, I don't know where that came from either. What a what a high roll though to reforge that if, into it, but not that it matters. Arctic's board
Yeah,
is so strong.
the line selection there was beautiful. Able to play Money Hungry and then still win streak just made him so rich. Able to hit this triple, like the three best, like probably some of the three best carry 5 costs right now. And I think when you have just a 3 item Bard 2, 3 item Vex 2 with like insanely good items for both of them, and even a Sona 2 to boot, like it's going to be hard, especially when you're able to take something like second win for this Morgana and Nunu to just stay alive just a bit longer. Like, I don't know too many things that are beating that.
Yeah. So I think I'll take a look here, see if our scores are updated, if we can pull these in. It won't be fully updated, but we're close as we pull the others. We'll take one last look at this before we call it a break. So that we can see how it looks. We have almost all. We're just missing two. But on the
Mhm.
bot side, like it looks like these points are so insanely close. With that being that, look how many people are on 39 points, and that being the current cutoff. We have what, 6 players on 39. We have Greya on 38. Phoenix a little bit behind. Really, will need a top two to go through. And then even
Hmm.
above that, we have two on 40. Like this next game is there's such high stakes for every single one of these players. And then even on the top end, for the people to advance through, it seems like our top five that are remaining have like a little bit of a point lead at the 46, 45
I
above the
believe Tex
43
will
mark, but
also
it's
shoot up
not a lot.
there. Tex and Juki still need to get their spores in. I believe they were 1 and 2 in their game. So there's gonna be even more competitors looking for that last spot.
Yeah, so yeah, this next game is going to matter a lot. And then after that, like every point matters too because after that we're moving from after cuts every 2 games to we're gonna cut once again in the next one and then again after that one. So like you really have to set yourself up for it. It's not enough to just barely squeak it through, be in that 24th position. Like you're really looking for that top two to be able to move on if you're trying to make it to week 2 at this point.
Mhm.
But anyways, we will see as we come back to our next game. Before we go to our game 4, we are going to. I'm going to give you a chance to make any shout outs. This has been your last game for the day. So if there's anything you want to shout out, any thoughts on how your day went watching these games, just any last thoughts from you, V?
Yeah, we saw some really creative and good games. I really like the line selection from a lot of these players, and yeah, no, just some good TFT, and excited to watch the rest of these from my bed.
Well, thank you so much for joining along the cast side today. Thank you. Always a joy to cast alongside you. And we will head to a break, and then we will be back for game 4.